Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. We have a large amount of money going to be coming into the cryptocurrency markets. We're talking $16 billion. And so we just got approval on that today. And so I'm going to be talking about that in this video. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future videos. And so we have Bitcoin currently trading at $62,500. And so we can still see we're down about 15% from the all-time high, about $11,000. However, if we take a look at some other cryptocurrencies here, we have Ethereum still down about 50% from its all-time high. We can see BNB's down about 20%, Solana still down about 44%. And so I still believe there's a lot of upside potential here over the next few months for cryptocurrencies. I believe we are going to see a higher price for Bitcoin and many altcoins as well. And so before we jump into the crypto news here, I'd like to mention that WEEX Exchange has a great welcome bonus going on right now. And so you can get $380 of USDT just by following 3 simple steps. And so the first one here is the easiest. All you have to do is create an account using the link underneath the video with your phone number and email. Now there is no KYC required for this platform. It is a simple email registration. Now you can earn more money as well just by following some of these other steps underneath here. Some of these are very simple to do. As I mentioned, you can earn up to $380. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the news here. We have FTX that has been cleared to repay billions to customers after bankruptcy plan approval. And so this is massive here. I'm going to be putting this into perspective and comparing it to different crypto events, right? I mean, we're talking $16.5 billion that are going to be repaid in cash. Now, is all of that money going to come back into crypto? No, but I would say possibly 50%, if not more, is going to flow back into the cryptocurrency market here. And so let's go ahead and take a look here at the comparison of repayments, right? And so to put this into perspective here, we can see that the German government selling just a couple of months ago was $3.5 billion. Now that created a lot of fear and uncertainty in the markets. That was $3.5 billion. We have Mt. Gox repayments as well. $8.8 billion. We have Michael Saylor here that's currently holding $15.75 billion. That is his current total holdings. Where the FTX claims distribution here is $16.5 billion. Right? So this is a substantial amount of money right here. That would be if Michael Saylor was buying all of his Bitcoin, right? Now, like I mentioned, is all of this money going to come back into cryptocurrency? Probably not, right? I mean, but I could potentially see about $8 billion worth. That'd be about the amount of money that Mt. Gox repayments was, but around $8.8 billion. And so we can also see the current Bitcoin ETF holdings is $61.1 billion, whereas FTX claims distribution here, $16.5 billion, right? I mean, that's about a quarter of the ETF holdings. However, this has been accumulated over about 10 months. And so this is a massive amount of money that has come into the ETFs over the last 10 months. Now we could start seeing the distributions flowing into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as well. I definitely think this is something to be paying attention to. And so we also have BlackRock that is very bullish on Bitcoin as well. And so I'd like to take a look at this video clip here.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is such an incredible event. First, I wanted to thank Mercado Bitcoin for inviting me to speak today, as well as thanking all of you for coming to learn and to discuss Bitcoin and digital assets more broadly. This is still such an early time in this industry, and as I'll talk about a little bit more in our presentation, for many investors in the United States and around the world, we're still just at the starting point for digital assets. We've still just started to make these assets more accessible to more investors and more portfolios around the world. So for many of you here, I know your journey maybe started many years ago for digital assets, but recognizing that the larger world outside, we're still in day one for many investors.
And so I'd like to go back to that, right? I mean, if we take a look at when the internet was created, 1983, right? I mean, it really did not start gaining traction until about around 2000, right? That took 17 years. Now, digital assets were created in 2008. 17 years from now would be 2025, right? We're going to start seeing implementation of this technology. I definitely think it is happening, and I think we're going to continue to see that. It's going to continue to build more and more. And as it starts gaining traction, we're going to see a lot of people come on board.
At BlackRock, we are the world's largest asset manager in the world, managing $10.5 trillion globally. And our digital asset journey started about 5 years ago, where we really started to think through what role can we play in digital assets for our clients. We were hearing questions from clients about how can I access Bitcoin? How can I access Ethereum? What does it mean to add this asset to our portfolio? And we spent a good amount of time studying these assets and studying the role that we could play in digital assets. We did a multi-year technology integration with our Aladdin trading platform to bring in digital assets to sit alongside stocks and bonds and other assets.
And so he mentioned Aladdin there. And so if you're not familiar with the Aladdin software, BlackRock developed that back in 1980. And so that is their trading software. That is pretty much the AI software that does all of the trading for BlackRock. Now, they incorporated digital assets into that for testing with bonds and stocks. And so I definitely think that says something, right? And I believe today that is what determines a lot of their buying in the ETFs, right? Where they're going to buy at what price levels. And I believe that they are using that software to trade digital assets. And so we're definitely at a very interesting turning point, right? I mean, let's take a look at the trajectory here for the internet versus mobile phones, right? A lot of these today we could not live without. However, we're seeing crypto grow at a faster rate than that, right? I mean, we are more technologically advanced than we were before. And so we're going to see adoption take place much quicker.
The first time. And all of this culminated in the launch of our Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs this year, which the Bitcoin ETF is now the largest Bitcoin ETF in the world, bringing over $20 billion in about 5 months. So we are in the middle of our journey, but now it's our duty to help people understand better these assets that we're making accessible through our ETFs. As the head of thematic investing at BlackRock, I really spend a lot of my time thinking about the future and some of the disruptive changes that are impacting the world and society and the economy and our portfolios around us. Oftentimes, this is about disruptive technologies. Oftentimes, it's about societal changes. But what we found with blockchain and digital assets is that in some ways, this is one of the fastest growing technologies we've seen in the last few years. On the right-hand side of the chart, you can see our adoption curve. This is just looking at how quickly certain assets are adopted by society. And you can see that blockchain and digital assets are being adopted faster than major revolutions before it, whether that's the internet or whether that's cell phones. And there's a couple of reasons for this. The first reason is just we're living in a more digital economy than ever before. If we're consuming things online, streaming videos, playing video games, buying digital content, it makes sense to have digitally native assets to conduct those transactions, particularly when there's, secondly, and importantly, in a year like this year, where over half the world's population is voting for new leadership, not just the elections in the United States, in Mexico, in India, and the European Union, we're seeing more geopolitical risk than before, and in fact, declining trust in institutions, whether that's trust in government institutions for maintaining peace and order, whether that's trust in central banks in terms of keeping inflation under control. More distrust has exacerbated the need for a global monetary alternative. The third we're seeing is demographic changes, the rise of the millennial and Gen Z generation. Millennials, at least in the United States, are set to inherit trillions of dollars, are entering peak earnings years in their work, and are increasingly playing an important role in the economy. And millennials are very different from previous generations because we, were the first generation to be digitally native, growing up with the internet, growing up with computers. We understand digital better than previous generations, and that means we're more likely to adopt digital currencies. And then finally, what I think has been really important to BlackRock in our journey in the digital asset space has been the maturing of the infrastructure in digital assets. We've seen billions of dollars move in venture capital and private equity into digital assets to fund incredible innovation in blockchain. We've seen the regulatory environment evolve to get more constructive around digital assets and how people can buy them. We've seen extremely talented people leave traditional finance to go into DeFi to help lead some of these innovations. And all of this infrastructure has really matured over the last 5 years. So between all of these tailwinds, it's really creating the opportunity for digital assets to gain broader adoption across more investors around the world.
And so as you can see there, we have BlackRock educating people on cryptocurrencies, right? And so whether you like it or not, digital assets are going to be part of the future. And so That's definitely going to start happening over the next 5 or 10 years, right? We're going to see a lot of this, maybe even taking place behind the scenes. Maybe we won't even understand what's really taking place, but this technology is being utilized. And so I definitely think the future is bright for cryptocurrencies, right? We also have FTX payments here as well coming out possibly by the end of the year. We're talking 60 days from the date that they set. Now it has not been announced yet. However, this is something to look forward to. This is a large amount of money that is getting paid back, right? And we could definitely see about $8 billion of money coming back, right? We have Michael Saylor looking to possibly buy another $1 billion of cryptocurrency. And so everyone's waiting for that $1 billion buy. However, we could potentially have $16.5 billion coming back to cryptocurrency, right? I mean, even if we're talking 50% of that, $8 billion. That is a massive amount of money here, and I've put this together here to show a comparison of that. And so if you enjoyed this video and found the information to be helpful, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you on the next one.